Yo, it's Mike Mead and Hammah on the mic. Old school sports Boston, we keep it real tight. Celtics, Sox, Bruins, Pats, we talk that fire. Boston's rawest voice and taking you higher.
Okay, welcome back everybody to Old School Sports with Mike and the Hammah. And yes, we have another great show for you today. Unfortunately, we're going to start off on a sad note. The passing of our local sports talk radio host, Eddie Andelman. And we'll talk about Eddie at length today. And then we're going to talk about the Red Sox, the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, Patriots, and a little football with the World Cup. Hammah, Eddie Andelman, right? The Godfather. That's how I look at him. When I say his name, what do you think? What comes to your mind?
I just remember as a kid, when there was no sports talk radio and stuff, and you were itching to listen to sports, Sunday nights, he started a show called The Sports Huddle back in 1969. I started listening to it in the early 70s and stuff. And it was must-hear radio. If you're outside, playing with your friends and the street lights are starting to come on, you run home because you want to sit in front of your little transistor radio for 2 hours and listen to Eddie, Jim McCarthy, and Mark Whitkin. And I mean, it's just, and these guys weren't even like sports guys. Eddie Andelman was a commercial real estate agent, right? Jim McCarthy was an insurance guy, and Mark Whitkin was an attorney. It was just like us talking, just regular guys talking sports. That's what made the show work.
And they did that because, first off, because it was just one night. It's obviously you couldn't make a living doing it.
Because they had real jobs.
Yeah, and another reason I read a little bit about him. He was saying that the reason he was successful is because he didn't care what he said. And he didn't care if I get fired because I had another job. Who cares? Right. I'm going to say what I want. You fire me, go ahead. I'm paying the bills. I sell insurance. He did a few things there.
He did, but the show went from like 1969 to 2010. I mean, they went to a different radio stations and stuff. Right. So Eddie's big break was when WEI became a all sports radio back in September of 1991, and Eddie was the host on the afternoon show 2 to 6. Yep. And that show, it was must see, because Eddie would say anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. He didn't care. He reminded me of a New Yorker.
I was just gonna say, he had that. He had that vibe about him, right?
He did. He didn't give a crap about anything, and he'd yell at callers and talk them down and stuff like that. But he was entertaining, that's for sure. And then, unfortunately, on Glenn Ordway, when he took over as
the Big O,
took over as program director, he kind of demoted Eddie to the 10 to 2 with Dale Arnold. Right. And it was called the A-Team, but it should have been like the Odd Couple. Right. Because here's Eddie into his gambling, his drinking, his horse racing, and Dale Arnold,
I just came back from Maine.
Whoopity-doop-de-doo. He was like Flanders from like freaking, The Simpsons. Yeah. You know what I mean? This guy here was as pure as the driven snow, and they butted heads all the time, like.
But it worked.
It
did work.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Dale Arnold has made reference to that before, that I don't think I was Eddie's choice. We know I wasn't his choice, but it did work, and he admitted it worked.
It did work, but they did have issues where they kind of hated each other for a while. And they really wouldn't talk to each other. But when they went on the air, they produced a pretty good show.
Yeah, awesome.
So the other thing, Eddie had a lot of grudges he held with the Bruins. He hated talking hockey because he hated general manager Harry Sinden. And it came back to a real estate deal that those guys supposedly had that fell through. Okay. And Eddie kept a grudge. And that was one of the things he was good at.
He held the grudge, he did.
Yeah. So he hated the Bruins because of who ran the Bruins. But then he did something really good. He started the Hot Dog Safari, which was it's called the Joey's Fund.
It was for charity, right?
Yeah, it was like an 8-year-old little boy who died of cystic fibrosis. And over the course of the Hot Dog Safari, which was once a year, they would have a big gathering, and it was all these hot dog vendors, ice cream vendors, whatever. Yeah. You'd just pay one price, get in, and it was all you could eat. And it would generate between $250,000 to $300,000 a year, and he raised $5 million doing that over the course of years. Nice. So he did a great job. I used to go to the Hot Dog Safari all the time. I was back in my 30s and 40s.
Of course you did.
Anytime there's a free buffet or all you can eat, I was there. One time, you know, I'd go to a bunch of group of friends and we'd see who could eat the most. I had 11 hot dogs and 9 ice creams in the course of like 3 hours.
Did you ever go to Coney Island on the 4th?
I did not.
You might make out pretty good there, right?
Yeah, I know. Back in the day when I could eat. But you know, there was these hot dogs, Fuddruckers. You ever hear of them?
Fuddruckers,
They're
yeah.
bigger than sausages. They're big fatties. And if you put a couple of them down, that should be considered, you know, four hot dogs.
Yeah.
But,
Sure.
you know, so it was pretty good. I mean, unfortunately, Eddie's career did end in 2001 when he got fired by Glenn Ordway again.
The Big O, and he took over the show, right?
And the problem was, Eddie was outspoken. There was some stuff behind the scenes going on with some, you know, women interns that were being harassed. And he actually said it on the air. Like, and the next day he got called into the office, and then he got fired 3 minutes before the show started.
Well, Eddie was never known to be holding back from anything. He reminded me a little bit of that guy in New York, Mike Francesca. You know, he was pretty brash.
But in this case, I mean, you know, Eddie, he's a pain in the ass. Rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah.
But he did the hot dog safari, which was a good thing.
For charity.
And he stood up for women's rights. And who did that back in 2001?
Right.
You know, it was accepted the way the men would treat the women. And he ended up saying something about it, and he lost his job because of it.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I was listening the day he got fired. It was like, you know, they started at 10 o'clock, and Dale Arnold came on, and he's like, because there was always 2 of them.
Right.
You always had, like you and I.
Right.
And Dale's just sitting there and he's like, well, Eddie just doesn't work here anymore. I'll have someone else with me in next hour. But it was like, it just happened seconds before the show started that he got fired. Yeah. So it was pretty wild. Yeah.
He paved the way for a lot of people here. There was another show, Calling All Sports, with Guy Manila.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
And he did a show like, I think it was all the weekdays, and then Eddie had his show on Sunday night. And then he paved the way for John Dennis and Jerry Callahan.
Right.
I mean,
that's why he's the Godfather. He was the original sports talk radio host.
Right.
And he was great entertainment. And you know, I met him a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like he wasn't the friendliest guy, but
No.
you know, he did some good things.
But it was a good way to be, if you think about it. He didn't worry. He said, I don't worry about being fired. I don't care. I'm going to say what I want to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
So that's all I got. Anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, you know more than I actually lost touch. I lived out of state for like 14 years, so I miss the brunt of his years, but I caught enough to know that he was a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Okay.
sorry to see him go. He was a legend.
Okay, there we go. Moving on. Red Sox.
That was Eddie's favorite team. And they might have killed him this year. Because as bad as they're playing, you know, they're 29-40 in last place, 12-22 at home. We continue with the bad home record.
Yeah.
You know, they've hit the least amount of home runs in baseball, which we kind of said that was going to happen this year. And they still got the injuries. I mean, Roman Anthony, he swings the bat and hurts his pinky, and he's been out for, 2 months now. You know, Trevor Story, he's not expected back, and when he's back, they're probably going to release him.
Yeah, let's talk about people we want to come back. We really don't care if he comes back.
Well, Crochet, he's supposed to come back after the All-Star break, but by then, you're going to be so far out of it, who cares?
Who cares, yeah.
You know, there's no hope.
Anthony's the one we want to come back. We just don't know what's wrong with him. You know, is it a tear? Is it a break? Is it a sprain? Yeah. What is it?
Well, that's the problem, is the team is saying one thing, that, he could play through this, and he's saying, no, I'm hurt. Yeah. So I don't know. You know, they're saying, the team is saying he's soft. He should be on the field.
Sam Kennedy.
Yeah.
Sam Kennedy's protecting him, actually, wasn't he?
At first, now they're saying that, you know, he could play through this. So it's kind of like, we're getting mixed signals. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean?
Bledsoe says one thing and Kennedy says the other. And,
it's whatever way the wind's blowing that day. But the team has no hope, and I'll tell you why. They set a record that hasn't been touched since 1901. The other night they played Tampa Bay, and their first 3 batters in their order struck out their first 3 times up. So it was 0 for 9 with 9 strikeouts. It hasn't been done since 1901, since the first 3 guys on a lineup struck out their first 3 at-bats. That's how far they have fallen.
Well, that's something you really want to be known for. My God.
I know. And then remember they'd always talk about the cardiac kids, 67 Red Sox.
What's the cardiac kids?
75 Red Sox. Yeah. This team is the opposite. Whenever they're down by 2 runs in the 7th inning, they're 1 win and 35 losses. And after 8 innings, right, when
No
they're
comebacks
down,
there.
yeah, they're 0 and 35. This team cannot hit the ball, and basically you can shut the game off in the 5th, 6th inning once they fall behind because this team is not coming back.
You see that lineup, though. I mean, 1 through 4 is maybe somewhat decent, but after that, 5 through 9 is like a AAA.
If a AAA
If a AAA team.
right. You know, but Sam Kennedy's on the radio saying Breslow's safe, the general manager. He's the one that constructed this team. He should have been fired long ago. I mean, this team is, like you said, it's a minor league team.
Yeah.
But you're paying the most expensive prices in baseball.
Right.
You know? So the thing is, and at the deadline, they don't know if they're buyers or sellers. The thing is, they're 5.5 games behind the Sacramento Vegas A's for the last wild card spot. They're not catching them. And they have to jump over like 5 or 6 other teams. And anyone that thinks that they should be buyers at the deadline need their heads examined.
Buster Holmes, what's that guy's
Buster
name?
Olney.
Buster Olney, he came on the other day on the radio and he's talking about all this stuff and he says, I'm not going to give you specific names, but they were saying that the Red Sox, one of the Red Sox owners is actually making calls to get a big right-handed bat. And everybody's like, well, who?
Yeah.
Well, I can't name names, but you know, they're all in on getting a big bat or 2 going forward. But that was like a week ago. And
Yeah.
and
since then, they lost to Tampa Bay. They got swept 3-1, 4-3, and 7-5. And then they came home and beat Texas 2 out of 3.
And they were going for the big sweep, but
Not going to happen.
Didn't happen.
But speaking of that Sunday night game, oh my gosh, did you see any of that?
I didn't see
Mike,
it.
throw up either the picture or the video, whatever you can do. They were invaded by all the Scottish soccer fans. There's
The kilts.
the kilts. The guys are everywhere. So they're visiting for the World Cup. They're singing during the game. They're dancing during the game. And it's like, I guess that's the only way you can have a good time at a Red Sox game nowadays. Is
Yeah.
You got to get liquored up, wear a kilt, and dance.
Yeah.
Because I know, a buddy of mine, my neighbor, went to the game, and he said, yeah, the game stunk. They stink as usual, but it was exciting. Listen, the atmosphere was incredible.
I saw on the news they were interviewing this bartender, this big bar in Boston and everything. He says, believe it or not, he says they tripled the amount of liquor that I sold during St. Patty's Day. He said, I never thought that would be possible. He goes, how do you triple St. Patty's Day?
Amazing.
But the Scots did it.
They did it. They're amazing. And so it's great that they're visiting and they're enjoying themselves in Boston.
And they're not driving.
Yeah, and the best thing is, have you seen what they've done to all the different monuments and stuff? They're grabbing cones that you'd put on the side of the road and stuff, and they're putting them on their heads. Paul Revere with a cone on his head.
Oh, my God.
Red Auerbach, cone on his head. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I've seen some interviews on the news, and I just like to hear them talk. I love the accent.
Yes, yes.
But
So-
and they won their first game.
They won their first game?
Against Haiti, right?
Yeah.
1-0. Seems like
Who would've thought?
there's a lot of 0-0s and 1-0s.
Well, we'll talk soccer in a few
Yeah,
minutes.
we'll get to
Let's go
soccer
to the
later on.
NBA.
Ooh, the NBA, those Knicks, man, I'll tell you, I mean, they really, at the end of games, they show their maturity. I mean, they've been playing, they got that Villanova connection, and along with a few other players, you can tell they got that chemistry, they're playing together. And San Antonio, if you look at the teams lined up, San Antonio versus New York, San Antonio's got more talent, but they have young talent, and they're not mature yet. I like their future going forward. But everybody knew it was the next year, And what convinced me of that when I was watching the last game, and they sent in, the NBA tried to stop it. They sent in Scott Foster.
Yeah.
Right.
He almost did it.
The extender. I texted you. I said it's coming back to New York. The extender's there. But no. So it just shows you the maturity and the want to. And this kid Brunson, my God, they were beating literally beating the crap out of him, and he kept going at him, and I mean, and you were talking about 3-pointers earlier. No, he has that little, going to the hoop and step back 10-footer, step back 5-footer,
Yeah.
So I got to give them all the credit in the world. I mean, I'm always hated the Knicks, but it's their year, and they pulled it off.
Well, they won the series 4-1. It's the first championship since 1973. But here the thing is, San Antonio totally outplayed them. Problem is, they don't have any veteran leadership. They're all too young.
Right.
The Knicks were down by 10 or more points in every game.
Right.
And then in the 4 games the Knicks won, they were down in the last 4 minutes. And clutch shooting, this, that, and the other thing, came back to win all those 4 games. But what the series came down to this. San Antonio was up 29 points in game 4. All right. The lead shrunk to 25. And San Antonio, for some unknown reason, took 8 consecutive three-pointers, missed them all. Now the lead's down to 12. It's a game, and then San Antonio gagged it away. So my contention is, you always talk, and you had a guest on that even said the same thing.
Yeah.
3-pointers are better than 2-pointers, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? A 3-pointer can bring you back when you're down 25 points. But when you're up 25 points, a 3-pointer can also have you blow a big lead.
Good point. Good point.
And that's what happened.
You don't want to be jacking them when you're up. You want to take good shots. And
That's why the Knicks win these games.
Yeah,
Why?
they're
You just said
mature.
Brunson goes to the hoop, gets fouled, hits a 10-foot shot. And San Antonio's shooting these dumb 3-pointers. You got a 7'6" guy, Wemby, shooting 3-pointers. He should be going to the hoop. Who can stop him?
If I'm the coach of Wemby, I'm telling them, do not leave the paint. I mean, you got just on the outskirts of the paint, because not only does it hurt him when, okay, so he can shoot. We all know he can dribble and all that. He's got coordination, like crazy coordination for a 7'4" or 5 guy. But look at it. It's like one of the color men on the TV said, I think it was Jefferson said, he made a good point. He says, it's almost like it should, remember when you're back in the day when your father was playing with you and your friends? He's like so much taller than everybody else. Yeah. He's tipping the ball to everybody and everything. And, just stay down low. If he can shoot him, but he misses, he's not there for the rebound. Right. I'd want him, for so many reasons, I want him under the basket.
Absolutely, but that's the way the NBA is now. And then, last year, when the Knicks played the Celtics blew 3 games when they're up by 20 points.
Right.
And what does this have in common? 3-point shots. And I even said, I was texting people during the game when the San Antonio was up 25 points. I said, only the Celtics could blow a lead this big.
You texted me that, yeah.
And San Antonio and the Celtics are the same team. Too many dumb 3-pointers.
My wife and I were watching it, and she was like, oh, they got this game. I said, not so fast here. I said, what they got to do, I said, the Knicks got to get it down to the beginning of the 4th quarter. If they can get down to like a dozen or so, 13 points, that's all they want to do. If you get to like 10, that's gold. And they did. And they just chipped away.
And as it got closer,
maturity.
they gagged. But Cal. I texted Cal up in Maine.
Yeah.
And when they were up at halftime by 25, I said, they shot 64% from 3-pointers. Now's when you pound it down low because they're going to start guarding the perimeter. So pretty much, that's what I told him at halftime. Yeah. But they kept jacking those threes, so I don't want to keep beating the dead horse here, but that's what cost them the series.
Well,
the series, not just the game.
They scored 76 points in the first half?
Yeah, they got 28 in the second half.
30. Yeah, it's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, they got a
there?
garbage too with the late when they already had blown the big lead.
What it comes down to is San Antonio's got extreme talent. I mean, I love all those guys. I mean, they're 20, 21, 22 years of age, and they got a huge future. But the maturity level, even the bonehead play there by
Fox,
their senior guy.
They had the game won. They outlet pass. He's got it. He could dribble the clock out. They're going to foul him. He's going to go to the free throw line. Game's pretty much over. He goes for the layup. It gets swatted, and they come down and score and win the game.
How many times have you seen that with mature teams? What they do is, in that situation, they have to go chase the guy. He would go towards the basket, then he'd run to the sideline. And it's almost like it's a comedy scene there.
Yeah.
They could almost tackle
Keystone
the guy.
Cops.
Keystone Cops, right? The Globetrotters. That's what I was trying to think of, right?
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. The San Antonio Spurs have a great future.
They need a veteran in there, though. They're too young. They need somebody. They need an adult in the room.
Jaylen Brown.
There you go. There's a lot of young talent the Celtics could get, that's for sure.
But give
of that,
give it to the Knicks. They won.
Yeah. Speaking of Jaylen Brown, though, they're talking about trading a 3-way deal with Giannis coming to the Celtics.
Yeah.
He's, from Milwaukee, and Brown going maybe to Houston. Or Portland, and then Milwaukee getting draft picks and players. Would you trade Jaylen Brown and bring Giannis here?
You know what? I basically was against it, but it's just the more I listen to it, the more I'm open to it. You know, because Giannis is a generational player, and Giannis doesn't do what?
He goes to the hoop.
He goes.
He might take 5 steps, but he goes to the hoop.
5 steps. He can take. He can
Euro steps.
3 steps from half court.
No, but he always travels. But they never call it.
They don't call it. He's great underneath the basket. That's what they need.
So the thing is, I don't want to get rid of Brown, but I'm thinking the offense would change. No longer would it be 3-point bombs all the time.
Right.
You'd have Tatum out there doing that, but you'd have Giannis, and you'd have a low post game now, sort of.
Yeah.
So to me, I would do it because the Celtics offense would change. Yeah. They wouldn't be so infuriating anymore. And do you ever see that movie Moneyball?
Moneyball, yeah.
With the Oakland A's, the way they changed baseball. There was a
Billy
player.
Billy Bean? Or?
Yeah. There was a player, Pena, who Art Howe, who was the manager, kept planting at first base. And Billy Bean, who was the general manager, was like, play Hatterberg, who was his backup. And he wouldn't do it. So one day, Billy Bean traded Pena and said, now you've got to play him. So Hatterberg ended up, being the starter and had a great year. Same thing with this. You tell Joe Mazzulla, stop shooting threes. He won't do it. He's the coach, keeps telling him to shoot threes. So you trade Brown, you bring in a low post player, now you can't shoot the threes.
Right.
So that's my analogy, and I think that's a good one.
No, it is. It is. I mean, Jaylen Brown is also known to dribble it off his foot a lot, and I mean, Jason Tatum. If you look at the two, I mean, I listen to the sports talk radio, and it's back and forth, but the general consensus is it's going to be Brown, not Tatum. And Tatum is.
Tatum ain't going anywhere. He's
but he's probably the better player if you want to break it down.
He is the better player.
He's probably the better player.
Yeah.
And he can shoot foul shots.
There you go. That's big and late in the clutch. Yeah. All right, so let's go to the NHL real quick.
NHL, Carolina, man, the Hartford Whalers, right?
The old Hartford Whalers won their second Stanley Cup.
Look at that.
They beat Vegas 4-2, and they were 16-3 in the playoffs, so they just dominated. What a team they have. But the thing is, they were having an issue in net. Frederik Andersen was struggling, and that's what kept Vegas in the game. So he gave up 4 goals in game 3. In the second period, they benched him, and they brought in old Bruins backup minor league goalie, Bussy, to be the goalie.
Do you remember him?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
But Brendan Bussy, right?
I feel better. I don't.
Yeah. No, he was just a minor league guy that, was whatever.
All right.
But here's the thing. So the Bruins got rid of him. He went to Florida. October 5th, Florida cuts him, right? So Carolina had goaltending issues with injuries. They pick him up. He goes 31-6 during the season.
Wow.
Frederik Andersen was only 16-14. But during the playoffs, they're like, let's start Andersen. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
This kid's a young player.
Right.
So after Andersen gets benched, what does Bussy do? Game 3, he gives up 1 goal in overtime. It bounced off the back thing and hit his leg and went in.
I remember that one, yeah.
Game 4, 3 goals. Game 5, 2 goals. Game 6, he shuts him out. So it's like, basically, Carolina won the Stanley Cup October 5th when they picked this guy up.
Yeah, 31-6.
Yeah,
That's
put
insane.
that photo of Bussy up there, making one of his great saves, Mike.
That's insane, huh?
Yeah. So, and the thing is now, Jacob Slavin, he won the gold medal on the United States hockey team.
Okay.
And he won the Stanley Cup. And the only other player to do that was Ken Morrow back in 1980 when he won the gold medal in the Stanley Cup also.
Don't remember it.
Yeah, you don't remember Ken Morrow?
No, I don't remember him.
No,
I
he was
heard the
good.
name, but it doesn't ring
New
a
York
bell.
Islanders had a big, thick, heavy beard.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, he was a good player.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's all I got for hockey.
Well, you called that. You told me that Carolina was a force. You said that.
Yeah, I had them picked from the get-go.
I picked Vegas because why
Yeah.
not? They came out of
Yeah.
nowhere, right?
To Larry the Bear's dismay.
Hey, yeah, I'm sure Timmy loved this too. I think he.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean dismay?
He's not a Carolina fan. He doesn't like the coach.
Ah.
So here's the thing. Last week we almost got sued by Larry the Bear because he was on the show without his written permission.
Wow.
But I paid him off, and I'll tell you
did
how
you?
I paid him off in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Let's go to the NFL. What do you think?
Okay, the Pats. A.J. Brown, all that talk's over. We feel good about him, right? They're all lovey-kissy. Him and Drake May, they show pictures of them all the time. It's taken a little of the heat away from the Vrabel, Rossini thing, right? Yeah. Okay. Now the only question is, They gotta sign Gonzo. And what's up with this guy Gabe Jackas?
Oh, it's bad, man. It's bad. He was the second-round draft pick, right?
He hasn't signed, right?
He's the only second-round draft pick in football not signed. And the reason why is the Patriots got bamboozled by the agent. This guy was injured. He had a knee problem, he had a shoulder injury, and they didn't release the MRI until after the Patriots drafted him. And stupid old Patriots, they move up to get him, and all these other teams are like, oh no, he's got a knee issue. So they're laughing at the Patriots for drafting this guy, and the day after they draft him, here are the MRI results. Oh, we got to go in and clean his knee up. He's got a shoulder injury. But here's the problem.
He's got like 4 things.
Yeah, the problem is his agent is Christian Gonzalez's agent.
Whoa.
So what do you do here? You know, because you don't want to piss off your best player, Christian Gonzalez, because you want to negotiate a long-term contract with him. But the agent just screwed you with another guy he's representing.
Yeah,
what do you do?
I don't know. You got. Well, I don't know about how much about this other guy, Gabe, but I know Gonzo they got to sign.
Yeah, but I
him.
mean, you know, Mike has a photo of Gabe he's putting up there probably now, and he's a big guy.
Well, they say
he
he's really,
great in college.
really talented. Like, was he number 54 or something?
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not going to probably have him this year.
Yeah.
He might be like a redshirt year. You drafted a guy in the second round that's probably not going to play.
They said in the paper that the Patriots want assurances about his health before they do sign him.
Because once he comes in, you own him. Because there's a waiver where you can sign saying, I'm going to come there, show up. I don't have a contract, but I'll work out with you and I'll do all the off-season stuff. But you own him then.
Right.
And then if they say it's a degenerative knee, he'll never play football again, you're going to pay him his whole contract because all these guys are slotted in. So you already know how much money this guy is going to make. And that's why everybody is signed all around the league because you can't get really any more money. Maybe you can get more guarantee, but you can't make any more money.
And he's got to get some decent cake if he's like the 50-something choice.
Yeah.
Right? And
He's getting good money.
Good money.
Yeah.
So the Patriots have taken, they want assurances and they're waiting, and it might not happen. It might never happen.
But where's the research on that?
know,
The
that's
Patriots should have
bad.
never fallen for this.
Maybe that was the Vrabel Rossini. He was asleep.
He
at
was
the
asleep at the
switch.
wheel
Is
again.
that,
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
Yep, there you go. All right, you want to go to the World Cup?
Football, yeah. Hosted by Canada, USA, and Mexico, and it's watered down though. It was always. I just looked this up. I had no idea. There used to be 32 teams. They went to 48 teams.
Yeah.
That's
Everything gets bigger, Mike.
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of like the NCAA March Madness.
Yeah, they're going to go to
They're going to go
90 or
76
something.
team or something like that. Money.
Yeah.
But you know, they got 12 groups of 4, and. But the one good thing about Boston, it's bringing a lot of do-re-mi to Boston.
It is. I mean, first of all, Team USA, they won 4-1 over Paraguay.
Yep.
Pretty good.
4 goals. That's like.
That's a week's worth of Red Sox scoring.
I know.
So next up, they're playing Australia Friday, June 19th at 3 o'clock. They're favored to win that one too. Wow. So they could be 2-0, which would be amazing because I don't even think the United States was going to make the tournament, except they're a host country like Mexico and Canada, so you get an automatic entry.
Oh, that's nice.
So, but USA could be 2-0, which is amazing.
Wow.
But speaking of that, you see this beautiful mug here, Mike, that we got last week?
Yeah.
Old School Sports Boston. Mike, show the image up there, a closer image. We're going to have a little contest, okay? And then Mike's going to put up the Old School Sports MA@gmail.com address. And here's what we're going to say. This is a Old School Sports Boston Yeti heavy-duty mug. This thing is solid as can be.
Big too.
Big,
tall.
right.
It's a tall boy.
All you got to do is pick the winner of the World Cup and how many goals combined are scored in the championship game. Ooh. So you got to email it into our website, Old School Sports Boston MA.
All right.
At Gmail.
Yeah.
And there will be a winner like 60 days from now, and they will get one of these beautiful mugs.
You go.
It's a
Solid.
Yeti.
It's a Yeti, man. It's a big Yeti.
It's a big Yeti.
Yeah.
So that's all I got. Anything else in the World Cup? As it gets deeper and deeper into it, we'll really dig into it. When the big teams like the Brazils and the Spains and teams like that start to, maybe elevate themselves.
Yeah,
Germany won 7-1.
Germany's
They're supposed to be
always in
pretty
it.
good
Germany's
too.
really good.
Yeah.
Spain, France, Italy, the big.
Yeah,
the
there's
big
a lot
dogs,
of
the
teams
big
to pick
dogs.
from, so I
Yeah.
think this competition will be, pretty good. There'll be a lot of different teams that people will select because it's pretty wide open.
Sunday night, I was watching the NBA Finals, and then I scooted over there to watch the World Cup a little bit, and Scotland versus Haiti, and there's just no scoring. I mean, come on, they don't even come close. And speaking of scoring, forget about scoring. We always talk in the NBA. Everybody's, what are they doing? They're always falling down. They're flopping. Soccer, football's got that to a T. Flopping, they fall down every single time, and what's that? Yellow flag? Yellow flag.
Red flag, yellow flag.
I think the red flag is a red flag when you get to do the penalty shot or something. You get to shoot it. What's the red flag?
How the hell do I know?
Come on, you know. But when they do the shot where they,
I thought the red flag got thrown out.
I don't know, but there's yellow flags all over the place. But my point is, we're talking about these teams that are flopping, right? These players,
Yeah.
right? SGA, he's a big flopper.
Yeah.
Nobody flops like these soccer players.
But the difference is, in the NBA, they don't take them out on stretches, and then 2 minutes later they're back in the game.
Right.
So,
right,
but
right.
I want to talk about a good story though.
Okay. Go ahead. Wind it down.
I got a human interest story, Mike.
Nice.
Craig Ferguson, a 22-year-old Scottish guy. All right, he walked from the West Coast to Boston. Can you imagine? He started. It took him 109 days. He went from LA to Boston wearing a kilt. He raised $1.3 million for mental health.
That's dangerous.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, those guys don't wear anything under their kilt, right? So
Wait. How do you know this?
Because if you wear something under the kilt, it's considered a skirt. Don't you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
But
no.
so a kilt, you wear nothing under it. So this guy was swinging in the breeze for 3,200 miles. How the hell did he do that?
Sounds dangerous.
So he had 6 days of rest. So like I said, it was 109 days from February 23rd to June 12th.
All right.
6 days of rest. He averaged 30 to 35 miles per day. That's longer than any marathon. I mean, that's just amazing,
Yeah, we estimate that'd be about 8 to 9 hours a day.
Yeah, that's crazy. But for a great cause, like I said, $1.3 million he raised for mental health. So kudos to him.
He's going to need it. He needs some mental health to do that.
No, that just shows you he is one tough hombre.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
And it's a Scottish guy, so he was probably drinking along the way too. You know what I mean?
Oh, therefore he doesn't want any underwear. He's always going to the bathroom.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. We're going to wrap it up right there. And
So no NBA, right?
no, maybe the Celtics have a trade.
NHL. That's what we can hope.
Red
on the
Sox
Celtics.
disaster. The
Yeah.
A's are still surging. They're playing good ball now. They've won 5 out of 6.
Maybe
So we
I'll
got another team to root for.
Maybe I'll jump on the A's bandwagon.
Plenty of room, man. There's plenty of room.
I used to love them in the early 70s.
Yeah, they were entertaining.
They were.
So, what else? Football, if any news with the Patriots.
Yeah.
So, we'll just be on top of everything.
That's
so
all.
Join us next week. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.